When it comes to the way we play guitar chords, is the way we've always done it always going to be the best way? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm always growing as a guitar player, and even yesterday when I had a lesson that I was teaching to one of our members of Guitar Success for You, I learned something. And the fact that you're here watching this video basically lets me know that you are also learning and willing to expand your toolkit. So today I'm going to talk about 4 chords in a very guitar-friendly key, but I'm going to show you 2 different ways of playing those chords, and I want you to think about which way might be better for you. I'll even include one bonus chord that's not in the key, but is very, very useful toward the end, so please watch all the way through. Here's the thing, if you get one chord out of this video that you'll use over and over, I'd say it's going to be worth your time. Let's get into it. This is a conversation that basically started when I was working with one of my students, but it's a conversation that's always going, okay? So I watched her play a chord, which I'll show you in a moment, and I didn't understand why she was doing it, but she had good reasoning to back up why she did. And ultimately, this is where I want to go with this. If I show you some stuff today, and you end up saying, you know, that's great, the way that I'm actually doing it is better for me, that's actually the win, because it confirms that you're on the right track with your season of guitar playing. I have a hunch, though, that something I'm going to share with you today is going to enhance your toolkit. Now, Proverbs 15:22 in the Bible says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." Would you agree with the statement, we are a compilation of the chords we've learned from various sources, right? The more sources we have speaking into our world, whether it's a fellow guitar player, a video like this, a song, a chord dictionary, the more input we have, the more we can have options. And options are especially helpful because music is a conversation, and we need to choose the right chord for the right context. Chords exist in a progression. So I like to think about the chord that comes before the chord I'm playing and the chord after, and how that chord can fit in really well. So knowing the context allows us to play beautiful music. Speaking of conversation, the way we greet people can be formal or informal, but I think it's wise to know the context into which we're speaking. If I went to one of my music professors in college and I greeted them super informally, unless I had, a pretty good rapport, it might be offensive. But if I went to one of my buddies and I greeted them super formally, they might be like, "What's going on, dude?" So considering the different ways to play a chord allows us to play in a context that is suitable and appropriate for that chord. Okay, the key of G major is arguably the most guitar-friendly key because most of the important chords in that key are not usually found as bar chords. So if we look at the 1 chord in G, we have a G major chord. Now, this is a chord voicing I've seen very commonly played in G major like this. And I think it's fine. A lot of people use it this way, and I appreciate this voicing. But the thing that I struggle with is, first of all, it's very muddy down below. So I actually like to play it like this, because it opens up the voicing a little bit. But more importantly, in context, if I'm going to play a C major chord, I can move right next door with very little movement. If I'm doing this, look how much harder I have to work. Now, for some, that might not be a big deal, but I love economy of movement. I'm not talking about laziness. I'm talking about efficiency. This way, I don't have to be looking at my hand because I can just feel the way those chords move, as opposed to having to do this extra movement. Okay, so in terms of G major, the 1 chord, which is the most important chord in G major, can be voiced like this, but I prefer and recommend this. You decide, and feel free to leave a comment as we go. The next important chord in the key of G major is D major. And this is the way I've played it for 30 years. Now, there are 2 guitarists I've encountered who have played it like this. One of them was a YouTuber I stumbled upon years ago, but the other was the student I taught a lesson to yesterday. And I said, why on earth would you form the D major chord like that? It looks awkward. But her defense was, well, I play a lot of ukulele, and that actually is a more intuitive shape for me to play. As you can tell, it's not very intuitive for me to play it this way. But I wanted to honor her perspective and basically to respect the fact that this is how it works for her. I don't know if you've ever played D major like this. I personally don't recommend it, but if it works for you, then keep going. Okay, so we've had G, the 1 chord, and then D, the 5 chord. The next important chord after that is C major, the 4 chord. Now, this is a hard chord for a beginner to learn because a lot of times we end up touching strings that aren't meant to sound, and we have something like this. And it gets pretty messy. So I've seen some people do this, which is technically not a C chord because it's got a D in it. But if you're in the key of G, and you want to include that, that's actually pretty good for fluidity of movement, right? But I actually like this. Now, this is not a C major chord, but you might like it. It's a C5. So I have my ring finger here, my index here, and my pinky here. And watch how easily I can move between those 2 chords. So that's an option for C if you'd like to consider it. The 4th and final chord in G major that I want to address is the chord E minor. This is the minor 6. This is the way I've played it for 30 years plus. But I've seen a lot of people play it like this. Now, to me, that's a little bit less intuitive, but watch what happens if I move to that other G. I don't even have to move my index finger. And if I'm moving from here to C, I can keep my second finger, my middle finger, in place. So there is some merit to learning to play this E minor chord in this way. I've got the bonus chord for you, but before I give it to you, really want to encourage you to support this channel. Invite you to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That's a great way to stay in touch with us as we continue to produce content that will bless and encourage and serve you. Another thing you could do is throw a little love our way with the super thanks function, which we just recently unlocked. Keeping a channel going like this takes time and energy and money and resources, and a little bit of money coming our way can help us do this. So if this has been of benefit, please consider the super thanks function. Okay, the chord I'm going to show you, which is not technically in the key of G, is A major, and I see a lot of people do this, which is fine, but the way that I actually recommend it, and this could literally be worth the price of admission to this video, which was free anyway, but this could literally be the way that you actually end up playing it and finding tremendous value. I go 2, 1, and 3, like this. This is the way I play A major. And that's because it moves really well to D and E. There's much less movement. I encourage you to give it a try. Just try playing 2 and 3 and dropping 1 in like this, and literally making this switch from here to here could literally change the game for the way you play A major. I've seen people do other voicings as well, but I want to really keep this simple with 2 basic chord voicing options for you. So that's an A major fingering that you may want to consider. One of our members has been playing for 56 years, and he learned this chord and said, wow, I learned something new today. This is incredible. So no matter how long you've been playing the guitar, you may have learned something today. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. I feel like keeping the conversation going and having access to a variety of chords really will enhance our ability, our repertoire, our artistry, and it'll make the songs we play even more interesting and enjoyable to play. Another thing that's really important on a guitarist's journey is this idea of being encouraged and spurred on to love and good works, as Scripture says. And with that in mind, I want you to seriously consider the possibility of joining our paid membership at Guitar Success for You. The website is guitarsuccessforyou.com. Here's why. I have learned so much by accident, but in this experience, I've put things together so you can learn on purpose. I've had a very roundabout way of learning the guitar by myself on my own and felt rather lonely. But here is an experience where you can join together with other like-minded followers of Christ who love music and the guitar and who are discovering this instrument at their own pace. We Zoom almost every Monday evening on a variety of topics. We hang out, we encourage each other, and the content that I've put together is meant to help you discover your gifts for the glory of God in your definition of success. That's why it's called Guitar Success for You, not Guitar Success for Me. Please take a look at the website. I link to it in the description. And as you continue forward as a guitar player, I just encourage you to just get to know the videos on this channel. It's been great to be able to get feedback from subscribers and people who watch our videos who say, hey, what about this topic? So if there's a topic you think that would be helpful for me to try to address based on what I know, I'd love to know about that. Please drop a comment. If you want to get better at chords in context, in transition, and have a smoother way of playing your chords, this video talks about being less sloppy and more smooth in your guitar playing with chords. And then if you want to take a break from chords and just get better at strumming, this video, which is our strumming workout, is like the most popular video on our channel right now. So please check that out. I look forward to serving you in the next video. Thanks for being here.